Welcome back, JF coin lovers and collectors, to another exciting and eye-opening video on rare and valuable USA coins. Today, we're diving deep into the amazing world of the 1982 D Lincoln penny, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but can actually be worth hundreds of dollars, and in rare conditions, even more than $442 on today's market. So make sure you watch till the end, because this is one of those coins that might just be hiding right inside your pocket change or old coin jar at home. Let's begin by going back in time to the year 1982. It was a big year not just for the United States Mint, but for coin collectors around the world. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, went through one of the biggest changes in its entire history. For over 70 years, the penny was made mostly of copper, a solid and heavy metal that gave it that rich reddish shine. But in 1982, something historic happened. The cost of copper metal became higher than the value of the penny itself, which made the US government take a huge step. That year, the Mint decided to change the composition of the penny from 95% copper and 5% zinc to a lighter and cheaper version made of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper plating. But here's where it gets fascinating. During this transition, both copper and zinc pennies were made at the same time. And the Denver Mint, marked with the letter D below Lincoln's portrait, struck millions of these coins in both metals. This means there are actually two different 1982 D pennies, one made of solid copper and the other made mostly of zinc. And because they look nearly identical, the only way to tell them apart is by their weight. A copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while the zinc version weighs only 2.5 grams. If you have a sensitive digital scale, this tiny difference could make the difference between a regular penny and one worth hundreds of dollars. Now, why is the 1982 D Lincoln penny so special? Among collectors, one of the most mysterious and valuable versions is the so-called 1982 D small date copper penny. This coin is an absolute legend. Most 1982 D pennies were struck on zinc planchets, but a few were mistakenly struck on leftover copper blanks from earlier in the year. That tiny minting mistake created an extremely rare variety that collectors crave. Only a handful of genuine 1982 D small date copper pennies have ever been found, making it one of the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever discovered. Let's talk about the design details for a moment. On the obverse, you see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty on his left and the date 1982 D on the right. Above Lincoln's head shines the national motto, "In God We Trust." On the reverse side, you'll find the majestic Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, with the words United States of America arched above, the denomination 1 cent below, and the motto E pluribus unum between them. It's simple, it's classic, and it's been the face of American 1 cent coins for decades. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know: the value. Most regular 1982 D zinc pennies are still worth 1 cent in circulation. However, if you find one in mint state condition, especially graded by PCGS or NGC, it could bring anywhere from a few dollars up to around $10 depending on the grade. But the copper versions, and especially the rare small date copper variety, are a completely different story. In the coin market today, a verified 1982 D small date copper penny in high mint condition has sold for more than $442, and in some cases, much higher when found in pristine, uncirculated grades. That's right, a single 1 cent coin that could be worth hundreds of dollars just because of a small difference in metal and date design. If you want to check whether your 1982 D penny is copper or zinc, here's what you should do. First, use a precise scale and weigh the coin. If it's around 3.11 grams, congratulations, you might have a copper penny. If it's about 2.5 grams, it's zinc. Next, take a close look at the date. On the small date variety, the 8 in 1982 has a more delicate and even shape, with the top loop smaller than the bottom one. On the large date version, the 8 appears fuller and bolder. These subtle differences are key to identifying whether you might have the rare and valuable one. Collectors also look for other interesting features on the 1982 pennies, such as double die errors, off-center strikes, or weakly struck mint marks. These errors can make your coin even more valuable. Some double-die examples can fetch between $50 and $200 depending on the clarity of the doubling and the coin's condition. Now let's imagine you discover one of these coins in your collection. What's the best way to confirm its authenticity and value? First, never clean the coin, as cleaning can destroy its value. Keep it safe in a protective holder and take it to a professional coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once authenticated, you'll know whether you're holding a regular penny or a valuable piece of modern American minting history. The 1982 year represents more than just a transition in metal, it marks a turning point in American coinage, where history, economy, and technology all collided. The story of the 1982 D. Lincoln penny is a reminder that even the smallest coins can carry big surprises. It's also proof that treasures still circulate among us, waiting for sharp-eyed collectors to discover them. Whether it's a shiny zinc coin from your pocket or a forgotten copper gem hiding in a drawer, you never know what you might find. So, before you spend your next penny, take a closer look. You might just be holding a 1982 D Ultra Lincoln penny worth far more than its face value. Always check the weight, inspect the date, and remember every coin tells a story, and some stories are worth hundreds of dollars. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new about the amazing world of US coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin treasure hunts, and share this video with your friends who love history and collecting. Stay tuned, because in our next video we'll uncover even more hidden gems and rare coins that could be sitting right in your pocket change. Until then, keep collecting, keep learning, and always keep your eyes on those pennies because 1 cent can sometimes make a world of difference. Today we are going to talk about one of the most fascinating and surprising coins in American history, the 1981 Ultra Lincoln 1 cent coin. Yes, the 1981 Lincoln penny that many people overlook could actually be worth hundreds of dollars in today's market. Some even reaching astonishing prices up to $442 depending on its condition, rarity, and mint error. So stay tuned till the very end of this video, because we're diving deep into the story, the value, and the hidden details that make this 1981 1 cent coin a true piece of American treasure. Now before we begin, let's take a quick look at the background. The Lincoln penny has been one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. It was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The coin featured the famous bust of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design so powerful and symbolic that it's still used today more than a century later. Over time, the penny has seen several changes in its metal composition, design details, and mint marks, and the 1981 issue sits right on the edge of one of the biggest transitions in U.S. coinage history. Let's step into the year 1981. The coin you see from that year may look like an ordinary copper-colored penny, but this year marked the final production of Lincoln cents made primarily of copper before the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition in 1982. That means 1981 pennies were among the last of the traditional solid copper coins, making them historically significant. Each 1981 Lincoln cent was composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. After 1982, the weight dropped to just 2.5 grams as the mint used mostly zinc with a thin copper coating to reduce production costs. So if you hold a 1981 penny in your hand, you're actually holding one of the final true copper-era Lincoln coins. But what makes some of these coins ultra-rare and extremely valuable? Let's talk about varieties and mint marks. In 1981, Lincoln cents were struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark for proof coins. Among these, the 1981 S-proof coins stand out as special because there were actually 2 types of mint marks used that year, Type 1 and Type 2. The Type 1 mint mark had a rounded S, while the Type 2 was much sharper and clearer. The Type 2 proof penny is significantly rarer and can fetch high prices among collectors, especially in pristine condition with deep cameo surfaces. Now let's go even deeper into what makes an Ultra 1981 Lincoln cent so valuable. Collectors and grading services like PCGS and NGC often label certain 1981 pennies as Ultra or Ultra Cameo if they have an extremely strong contrast between the frosted design elements and the mirror-like background. This effect happens when the dies used to strike proof coins are polished to perfection, creating that deep mirrored finish. These Ultra Cameo proofs are highly sought after because of their limited numbers and breathtaking beauty. A flawless example graded PR70 Deep Cameo can sell for as much as $442 or even more at auction. In some rare instances, collectors have paid higher amounts for coins with perfect strike and high appeal. Now you might be wondering, what about circulation strikes, the regular pennies you find in your pocket or old jars? Most 1981 pennies you see in circulation are worth face value, but if you find one in uncirculated mint state condition, especially graded MS67 or higher, its value jumps dramatically. Clean surfaces, strong luster, and sharp details can make even a common penny a collector's dream. Some mint state examples have been sold for hundreds of dollars simply because of their flawless preservation and brilliant red color. So always check your 1981 pennies carefully, because you never know when one might turn out to be a hidden gem. But the story doesn't end there. 1981 pennies are also known for a number of striking errors and varieties that can add huge value. Some have double die obverse, where parts of the word liberty or the date appear doubled under magnification. Others may show off center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks that make each coin unique. Error coins are always popular because they capture moments when the minting machinery misbehaved, creating collectible pieces of history. Depending on the type and severity of the error, values can range from a few dollars to hundreds. Let's talk about the market today. Coin values fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and the condition of the coin. As of the latest coin market analysis, high-grade proof 1981 S-Type 2 Ultra Cameo pennies have been recorded selling between $300 to $442 or more. Even regular 1981D and 1981 Philadelphia cents in top uncirculated condition have fetched $50 to $200 from collectors building registry sets. The copper content itself gives these coins an additional layer of value, especially as copper prices continue to rise. Each copper penny contains about 2 cents worth of metal value alone, doubling its face value before we even consider rarity. So why are people so fascinated by these little copper coins? Because they represent a closing chapter in American coinage, the end of solid copper pennies and the beginning of a new era. The 1981 Lincoln cent stands as a symbol of change, value, and legacy. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this is one coin you should look for in your collection. Dig through your old coin jars, check those change drawers, and search your rolls. You might just find that one special 1981 Ultra Lincoln penny that could be worth hundreds of dollars. Before we wrap up, here's a collector's tip. If you think you have a valuable 1981 penny, don't clean it or polish it. Cleaning can destroy its numismatic value instantly. Instead, store it safely in a coin flip or capsule and consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication and evaluation. A certified coin in a graded holder can attract far more interest and sell for much higher prices. In summary, the 1981 Lincoln cent might seem like just another old penny, but behind that tiny piece of copper lies a story of American history, craftsmanship, and hidden value. From the transition of metal composition to the beautiful Ultra Cameo proofs and rare mint errors, the 1981 penny is truly a remarkable collectible. Some examples are already worth over $442 and continue to gain attention as collectors worldwide hunt for pristine and rare versions of this historic coin. So next time you come across a 1981 Lincoln penny, take a closer look. You might be holding a small but powerful piece of history, one that carries the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the artistry of American coin design, and the potential of hidden wealth. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1981 Ultra Lincoln penny, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your fellow coin enthusiasts. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll explore another amazing and valuable coin that might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Until then, keep collecting, keep searching, and remember, every coin tells a story. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprising coins in American history, the 1979 Lincoln 1-cent coin. Yes, that small copper coin you might have in your pocket right now could be worth much more than you think. Some rare 1979 Ultra Lincoln pennies have shocked collectors around the world by selling for hundreds of dollars, and even higher when in pristine condition. So stay tuned, because today we'll uncover the full story, value, hidden varieties, and the secret details that make the 1979 Lincoln cent a true gem in the world of numismatics. Let's start with the history. The 1979 1-cent coin belongs to the legendary Lincoln penny series that began back in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This design by Victor David Brenner became one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. The obverse side of the 1979 penny features the bold and timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, with the word Liberty on the left, the motto "I in God We Trust" along the top edge, and the date 1979 on the right side. Below the date, you can find the mint mark if the coin was struck at either the Denver Mint with a small d, or the San Francisco Mint with an s, while coins without a mint mark were made in Philadelphia. Now let's talk about composition. The 1979 Lincoln penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. This was one of the final eras before the major change in 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched from mostly copper pennies to zinc with a thin copper coating due to rising metal prices. Because of that, these pre-1982 coins, including the 1979 issue, have higher intrinsic metal value. Even if you just melt down the copper content, it's already worth more than 1 cent, but don't do that because melting coins is illegal. Still, this adds extra charm for collectors who love these older, heavier coins. Now, the exciting part: the varieties and eras that make some 1979 Lincoln pennies ultra valuable. Collectors are constantly searching for special varieties, and there are a few that can make your penny worth serious money. One of the most famous is the 1979 Lincoln cent with strong doubling on the obverse, where letters in Liberty, or "I in God We Trust" show clear doubling under magnification. This doubling happened when the die struck the design twice slightly off, creating a doubled die obverse. If you find one of these, the value can jump from a few cents to hundreds of dollars depending on condition. Another rare variety is the 1979 S-proof penny with what collectors call a Type 1 or Type 2 mint mark. The Type 1 has a filled S mint mark, while the Type 2 has a clear, sharp S. The Type 2 proof is much scarcer and highly desired by collectors who specialize in proof sets. Some proof 1979 S pennies in perfect PR70 condition have sold for hundreds of dollars at major coin auctions. Now let's talk about grading and condition, because that's what truly determines a coin's value in today's market. A worn 1979 penny from everyday circulation might be worth only its copper value, around a few cents. But if your coin is uncirculated, showing sharp details, no scratches, and full mint luster, its value rises quickly. According to recent market trends, a 1979 Lincoln cent in MS65 red condition can sell from $10 to $30, depending on the mint mark. Higher grades like MS67 or MS68 red have fetched over $200 to $400 at auctions. And some special error or ultra quality examples have reached a stunning market value of around $442. Yes, that's hundreds of dollars for a single penny. Incredible, isn't it? So why are collectors so interested in these coins? The answer lies in the perfect blend of history, rarity, and nostalgia. The 1979 penny marks the end of an era before major design and composition changes came to U.S. coinage in the early 1980s. It's a piece of pure copper American history, symbolizing the strength, honesty, and enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln himself. Every time you hold one, you're holding over 4 decades of history, from 1979 to now, and possibly a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. If you have a coin collection or even a jar of old change, it's time to start searching. Look carefully for 1979 pennies with no mint mark, a D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco. Check for any doubling on the lettering, a shiny uncirculated surface, or any strange die breaks or off-center strikes. Sometimes a small detail like an extra line or a shadow on Lincoln's face can mean a huge jump in value. Many coin hunters have turned pocket change into profit simply by knowing what to look for. Now let's take a closer look at how these coins are appraised in the collector market today. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC examine thousands of these coins, grading them from low circulated conditions up to flawless mint states. They analyze luster, strike quality, and eye appeal. A coin that has stayed untouched since it left the mint, stored safely without scratches or fingerprints, can be a top-grade coin that collectors pay premium prices for. In recent years, online auctions have shown a growing interest in high-grade Lincoln pennies, especially from the 1970 series, pushing the demand and prices even higher. And if you're wondering how to sell one of these rare pennies, there are many trusted platforms, online auctions, certified coin dealers, and collector shows. But make sure your coin is authenticated first. Never clean your coin because cleaning can ruin its natural patina and dramatically lower its value. Always handle coins carefully, by the edges, to avoid fingerprints and damage. Now let's imagine for a moment. You pick up an old coin jar, pour out a handful of pennies, and there it is, a 1979 Ultra Lincoln cent shining under the light. You grab a magnifying glass, spot a perfect strike, maybe even a doubled die or a proof-like finish. That small discovery could easily be worth $100, $200, or even more, depending on rarity and condition. It's like finding a piece of treasure hiding in plain sight. So, my fellow collectors, keep your eyes open and your curiosity alive. The 1979 1-cent Lincoln penny is not just a coin, it's a story of American craftsmanship, a symbol of history, and a hidden opportunity for those who know what to look for. Whether you're a beginner or an expert, the world of coin collecting always rewards patience, knowledge, and passion. If you enjoyed learning about the 1979 Lincoln penny, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into rare and valuable coins. Share this video with your friends and family so they can check their change too. Who knows, someone you know might be holding a fortune in the palm of their hand. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy treasure hunting. Keep searching, keep collecting, and keep believing that the next coin you find could be the one worth a lot of money. This is your host signing off. See you in the next video, where we'll explore more hidden gems of US coin history. Until then, stay curious and keep your eyes on those pennies. Today we're talking about something truly exciting, the 1971 Ultra Lincoln penny from the United States of America. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary 1-cent coin, but believe me, this little copper beauty can be worth a surprising amount of money, in some cases, even up to $442 in today's collector market. So sit back, relax, and let's dive deep into the history, the minting details, the rare errors, and the secrets that make the 1971 Lincoln penny one of the most interesting coins ever struck by the US Mint. Let's start with the history. The 1971 Lincoln cent continues the proud legacy of the Lincoln penny series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of the symbolic figures used in earlier designs. By 1971, the Lincoln penny had already been a beloved American coin for over 6 decades. However, that year stands out for more than just tradition. It was a year of change, experimentation, and hidden varieties that collectors hunt for to this day. The 1971 pennies were struck in 3 main locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco with the S mint mark. Each mint produced millions of these coins, but not all pennies are created equal. The Philadelphia Mint produced more than 1.9 billion coins, the Denver Mint struck around 2.9 billion, and the San Francisco Mint released proof coins specifically for collectors. The difference between a regular circulation strike and a proof coin is immense. Proof coins were carefully struck with mirrored fields and frosted details, giving them an ultra-sharp and shiny appearance. Those high-quality proofs are what collectors now call the Ultra Lincoln pennies, and some examples are known to reach remarkable prices depending on their grade and condition. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1971 penny so valuable today. It's not just age, it's rarity, condition, and minting errors. The most desirable 1971 Lincoln pennies are those that show rare doubled die obverse errors. In these coins, the word liberty, the motto "I in God we trust," or the date 1971 itself may appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process. This doubling effect is visible to the naked eye under good lighting or magnification and immediately increases the coin's collector value. Some of these doubled die errors have sold for hundreds of dollars, even in circulated condition. But in pristine, uncirculated, or proof condition, they can easily command over $400 or more at auctions and in private sales. Another factor that drives up the price is the coin's grade. Collectors use the Sheldon scale, which runs from 1 to 70, to describe a coin's condition. A heavily worn coin may grade around 10 or 20, but a perfect uncirculated proof coin could grade between 65 and 70, and that's where the money really is. A 1971 S-proof penny graded PR70 Deep Cameo, with flawless surfaces and mirror-like brilliance, has fetched market prices of around $400 to $442 in recent years. And if the coin features a doubled die or a striking anomaly, that value could go even higher. What's interesting about the 1971 penny is its composition. Unlike the modern pennies that are mostly zinc with a thin copper coating, the 1971 pennies were still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. That means each coin actually contains about 2 cents worth of metal in today's market. But remember, it's illegal to melt US coins for their metal content, so the real worth comes from the collector demand, not the raw materials. Still, that old solid copper composition gives the 1971 penny a deep, rich tone and durability that today's lightweight zinc coins just don't have. Let's take a moment to appreciate the design itself. On the obverse side, we see the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, facing right with the inscriptions "I in God we trust," "Liberty," and the date 1971. The reverse side, still showing the Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparo, displays the denomination 1 cent and the proud words United States of America. If you look closely at the base of the Lincoln Memorial under magnification, you can even see a tiny image of the seated statue of Lincoln inside, an incredible detail that many people never notice. Now here's where things get even more interesting for collectors and coin hunters. Many people today still find 1971 pennies in their pocket change, old jars, or family coin collections. Most are worth just a cent, of course, but if you find one in shiny, uncirculated condition or with a rare mint error, it could be your lucky day. Always check your coins for doubling, off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual coloration. Even a small imperfection can turn an ordinary penny into a valuable treasure. And if you find a 1971 S-proof penny with ultra-deep mirror surfaces and strong details, you might be holding a piece of coin history worth hundreds of dollars. Let's talk about the market today. The 1971 Lincoln penny's value depends on grade, rarity, and demand. For example, a normal circulated 1971 penny might be worth between 1 cent and 10 cents to most dealers. But a mint state red penny, meaning one that has retained its bright, copper red luster, can be valued from $5 to $40 depending on the mint. Meanwhile, the 1971 S-proof coins can sell for $100 to $442 or more in perfect condition. Some specialized double die varieties have reached record auction prices close to $500, making them truly prized finds among coin enthusiasts. The current collector market for vintage US pennies is booming because more people are realizing that hidden treasures can be found in old change. Every year, collectors, dealers, and investors attend coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces searching for coins like the 1971 Ultra Lincoln penny. With its historical background, beautiful copper design, and rare varieties, it remains a hot topic for both beginners and expert numismatists. Before you toss that jar of pennies aside, take another look. You might have a 1971 coin with that special shine or unique doubling that could be worth far more than you imagine. Clean lighting, a magnifying glass, and a bit of patience can make all the difference. Remember, coins like this not only hold monetary value but also a piece of American history, a link to the time when copper coins carried both artistry and weight. So, if you're a coin lover or just starting your collecting journey, add the 1971 Lincoln penny to your watch list. Whether it's a Philadelphia No-Mint mark coin, a Denver D-Mint penny, or the ultra-rare San Francisco proof, each piece has a story to tell and the potential to surprise you. In today's collector market, even one tiny copper cent can turn into a small fortune if you know what to look for. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1971 Ultra Lincoln penny, don't forget to like this video, share it with other coin enthusiasts, and subscribe for more incredible coin stories, values, and discoveries. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a lot more than 1 cent. See you in the next video, and happy coin hunting!